Have you been following the market? Have you seen a house that was active online and then it either goes pending or it just disappears altogether? And then a couple days later, it comes back on the market and it's active again, or it says back on the market, and you're not really sure what that means? Well, that's what we're going to talk about today. Hi, my name is Carol Darrow and welcome to my YouTube channel. On this channel, I talk about Lake Havasu City, Arizona. Things that you can find to do here, things that you might love. I also talk about real estate, what you can expect when buying and selling real estate here in Lake Havasu City. If this is the channel that you've been looking for, please subscribe and hit the bell so that you're reminded every time I have a new video. So I have been asked several times just this week what back on the market means. Why one day you see a home online or active and then it disappears, and then a few days later or a week later it comes back up and it says back on the market. So I had so many people ask me that same question in 1 week that I decided I just need to do a video on it. And we are seeing that more and more, and maybe this will help you understand why that's happening. So first, in our MLS system, we have a couple different statuses or names for the process of the listing. When the first process is active, meaning it is actively for sale. Then we also have pended or pending, which means there is a accepted contract on this house. And then we have back on the market. We also have active with contingency. I have done a video on active with contingency, so be sure to check that out, and that'll explain what that status is. We're not going to go in that today. Today we're going to talk about active, pending, and back on the market. When we have a home that is active and there is a buyer and a seller who have agreed on a price and contract terms, the status is changed from active to pending. Now that means it's in escrow and the terms of the contract are being fulfilled, and it's just a matter of time before it closes. During that pending status, the buyer has 10 days to do any type of inspection that they want. And I did do a video on home inspections, so be sure to check that out, because we're not going to go into that today. But when they're in that period, they have 10 days or maybe longer if they've negotiated longer to do any inspections. And if something pops up in that inspection, they have the opportunity to, one, ask the seller to fix or correct some items of things that they found, or two, that they can cancel. So if the buyer elects to cancel for either if they found something that was a no-go with the house, or they asked the seller to fix items and the seller was either unable or unwilling to fix the items, the buyer can cancel the contract. When that happens, the status of the home goes from pending back to active. Sometimes you'll see it where it says back on the market. So why are we seeing so many homes go from active to pending, back to active, or back on the market? Well, my personal opinion is right now our inventory is so low. There are so many more buyers than there are homes for sale. So I feel like the buyer is kind of getting in a hurry and just putting an offer in just to win the house, just to win the bid. Then they're taking time later to slow down and look at the property, and then they're coming up with, maybe this isn't the right house. I'm also seeing that there are people who don't live here in town or who don't have the ability to get here to look at the house, who are buying the house or writing a contract on the house sight unseen. Then within those 10 days, they make the trip down to Havasu and they look at the house and it's just not what they need or what they thought it was. And so personally, I think that's happening a lot more. So a house will go under contract really quick, 2 to 3 days on the market. Then the buyer has an opportunity to slow down, look at the house, and then they find that it's just not for them. Then it goes back on the market or goes from pended back to active. It is hard to say for sure why every single contract that went from active to pended to active, it's hard to know what exact the reason is because I'm not involved in every single one of them. Again, this is just my theory, my guess of why we're seeing this more and more. When we see a house that goes from pended back on the market, sometimes your first question is, what's wrong with the house? And it may not be the house at all. So that's why I feel that this video is important to share it with you so you kind of get an idea of what's happening in this very, very active seller's market. So if there are other topics that you have questions on or you're wondering why this happens, just leave me a comment below and I will do my best to get a video of that topic out for you. I hope you found this video helpful. My name is Carol Darrow and I'm with Destination Havasu. We'll see you next week.